Welcome to Game Chat, where two streamers
This is going to be our clickbait right now, so
Oh,
since
God.
you're
get the behind-the-scenes
You
insight
can take this guy. Look at this jackass.
of your favorite content creators.
Dude, okay, so the intros have turned into simultaneously the best and worst thing on my channel.
And the people behind the Go Live button.
Might get a little emotional here, but it, and they're like, I hope you're there tonight.
This is Game Chat.
Welcome in, everyone. This week on Game Chat, we have none other than Mr. Mokyo himself, Himo, in the house. You may know him as, and correct me if I'm pronouncing this incorrectly, Juha-Pekka Satilia?
Close enough. Close enough.
JP?
Yeah, close enough. Yeah.
I know that was kind of the name growing up. But welcome on into Game Chat. Thank you very much for taking the time to join us today here, and look forward to kind of learn a little bit more and gain a little bit more insight on who is Himo.
Thank you very much for having me. It's my pleasure. Very excited for this.
So a lot of you that may be watching this are from the golf community, and that is the primary directory that Himo spends most of his time in these days in the past couple of years. But you started your streaming 7-8 years ago at this point now. It's been quite a long ride. We'll start with the streaming career, or we'll jump into the streaming career. But first, if you could go into, tell us a little bit about, you're from Finland. You were born and raised near Tampere, Finland, and what kind of led you into this gaming path?
Well, yeah, sports is a big thing in Finland. So from very early on, it was always football in the summer, and then hockey in the winter. And similarly as that, there was always a computer. So we got a Commodore 64 in '88.
Ooh.
So it was always the prize after you've done your football or soccer, you get an hour of that computer. So from very early on, it was like a really, really special thing, because it was an hour or 2 hours a day. So it felt almost like, even as a young kid, like you worked, did your stuff, so you get to play the game. So it's been very, very hand in hand with me. Games and sports is been what my whole existence has always been about, for the most part. So it's been doing sports and playing games. So I've been a gamer since that Christmas of '88 and never stopped playing any games.
'88.
Yeah,
That
Christmas
goes
of
way back.
'88, Commodore 64. One game, Gianna Sisters. One game.
That's
One
incredible.
game.
And you have a wide variety of games outside of sports that you gravitate towards, all the RPGs. So you're definitely a gamer, true and true. I would say, and it's always kind of been that wide range. And like, did you always have this passion? Like, I want to do gaming in some fashion. I mean, I know at a very early age, you probably couldn't envision a necessarily career path, because there wasn't esports, there wasn't Twitch, there wasn't streaming, there wasn't YouTube, there wasn't all these avenues where you can draw revenue.
I don't think it ever crossed my mind, even at a young age or anywhere, that it could be something to do as a profession, or even to make any money on. It was always just the best thing, the best hobby, whether it be very young or then playing the Halo LANs with carrying your TVs over, or then a little bit later playing clubs in NHL. It was always the best hours of the day for me. So I didn't really care what the game was, but as long as you get to game in the evening, and especially once it turned to internet and we had headsets and you could like game with others, it was like clear that
The best.
this is just me. But as to the professional side, never ever once crossed my mind, even after starting Twitch, that this would be something that could lead to anything. Because back then, especially starting Twitch, because there was no affiliation program, it was nothing. So it was very clear. All people got told by the OGs that you're not going to make money. Nobody's going to watch you. You're not going to make money. You're not going to get partnered. You're never going to get that sub button. So it was like different then, because it was clear that for 2 years, you're going to grind towards that sub button for 2 years or 3 years. And even then, you knew that most of those guys who grind for 2 years still don't get it. So even as me starting Twitch, there was never even like a thought that this could be a profession.
So What were you doing right before you decide to go full time on Twitch? What were you doing before Himo opened up the Dirty Basement?
I started streaming because I didn't want to do my thesis in the university. So I had time and they paid me to do it, but I really didn't want to do it. So I needed something for the energy to do. So because I procrastinated for that 9 months, I thought, okay, I have this money coming in 9 months and my thesis is ready.
Mm-hmm.
But if I turn it in now, the money is going to stop. So I had pretty much a 9-month paid vacation. So then I was like, okay, I'm gonna stream this NHL for these 9 months, and that was pretty much it then. So I was a researcher in Tampere University, but pretty much what I was a glorified tape transcriber. So I was a very, very highly I transcribed tape, listened to tape, and wrote what they said from interviews. So after I had
software that does that.
After I had graduated, after I have done that 3 months, I realized that I have made a big mistake. I have gone to university for 12 years, and now my life is going to be in this university basement, transcribing tape and writing.
It kind of sounds like, that 9-month window was like the perfect storm, like perfect opportunity for you. Like, had that not occurred, maybe you don't necessarily stream, or you do it so casually it never really transpires to be anything, right? So it was almost a perfect storm of when you kind of had that enlightening moment of at university that maybe this isn't the right direction for me. You just almost stumbled upon it, it seems.
Yeah, and it was just like the feeling of I want to go home and stream. Like I want to go, and I want to go home and watch Tribe stream. I want to go watch Crazy Canucks. I just, what are the guys doing? The fear of missing out was so huge at that point. So I still didn't think I'm going to be a full-time caster, but I knew that I can't do the universe. Like, I just can. I can't do that. So then we transitioned to doing full-time Twitch, and it only took 5 years to launch, but we still kept at it all the time. So I never quit because it's so up and down. As you know, you build a community, you change games, everybody leaves, you build the next game. So up and down we went. So I've been famously killed my channel 5, 6, 7 times.
So I've got the lovely stats up here. Mm-hmm. And I saw a number and it was insane. So your first stream, NHL. Do you know how many people were in there?
In my first stream of NHL.
Mm-hmm. Do you know? Because I looked it up and I went, oh my.
A lot. I would guess a lot. 10s anyway.
You got more than 10s. 95 people.
Yeah.
Popping off. How did you get integrated into the community? Were you already talking?
I was a viewer. I was a viewer first, so I started viewing on. I remember the date exactly because I purchased my Xbox One from the Christmas sale. So it was the 25th, and I plug it in, and there's the first thing it's in there is Twitch. Mm-hmm. The first thing when I plug in my Xbox One, there's a Twitch right there as an app. I click on the app. And I see man versus game playing some game. And I was like, what? And then by some freak accident, I type NHL 15 and Tribe is there. And I'm like, no way. I click on it and I'm like, this guy is losing hot games in Division 7. And he has 40 people here and they're talking. I'm like, okay, I have now found what I've been looking for my whole life.
Yeah.
So from then, from that December to next September, I was a everyday viewer of all the streams. So I would start to go to work at 5, so I get to be watching Tribe at 1 at home, because Tribe started at 1, from 1 to 3, and then from 3 to 5 it was this guy called Whittle TV, and then from 5 to 9 it was Mivians. So I pretty much watched 8 to 10 hours of NHL community every single day.
So you're saying that's a better way to get integrated to a community instead of coming in and asking them to set up a tournament?
Dude, I am on my platinum round 4. There's no fucking way you're asking me to organize your tournament for you. There is zero fucking shot at this moment right now you're trying to make me organize your tournament for you. Just no way. So So I don't give a fuck about your tournament, dude. Like, just shut the fuck up and listen and watch. But don't talk to me anymore today. I'm fed up with your shit today, dude. Don't talk to me anymore today. Just don't talk to me anymore today, dude. Just no, not today, man. Not today.
Yes, and what I did, I never told anybody when I started, I streamed. I never told anybody. So it was then all of a sudden it was like a really weird thing that I was there. And I came in, I had my intro on the first stream, I had my overlays in the first stream, I have my big alerts in the first stream. So I came in with a full package, like a full green screen. Of course, it was very cheap because me, but the outlook looked like this guy has been streaming a long time. And I had a different music. I only played classic hip hop, and I was the type of a guy to tell somebody to remove themselves in the channel if they didn't like. So a lot of people were like, "Oh my days, this guy actually like tells people to F off if they are mean to him or something." So it was like it was a really, really perfect storm for me. They hadn't seen my type of show in the NHL community at all. And then
it's very reminiscent of the pleated pants entry into the golf community, because he was always a viewer in Twitch for a long time, and it just like hearing the two stories side by side, it's like he was a viewer for a year plus two or whatever, and then all of a sudden, whether it was baseball or golf or whatever it may be, and then he fires it up, but he has everything kind of ready to go, between alerts, between overlays, and obviously over the years it's clearly progressed, but really it shows for someone brand new into the community or brand new trying to integrate yourself into Twitch. It's really about building you don't want to have some fake friendships or anything like that, right? But like, if you genuinely enjoy watching streams, as you said you did, and like you're enjoying it, and you feel like you can do it yourself, and as long as you're having a good time, people are probably going to gravitate towards you, and especially if they already recognize your name. So that makes a ton of sense. But yeah, kudos to you. Right up. So Bear said 90. How quickly were you partner after that? Because it was NHL that got you to partner, right?
Yeah, so I applied the next December, so 14 months.
1 year.
14 months, yeah, 14 months. So my game plan was, if I'm going to stream NHL 17, which was the second game, because I didn't know. Like, of course, I had the idea that I might, but then I decided that, okay, we're going to then do the classic partner push once the new game comes out, which was a whole lot of different, because you couldn't even apply without a 500 CCV. You needed 500 concurrents to even apply.
Wow.
So the only way I could apply is take the 3 days when it came out, stream a full week of 17-18 hour streams, and then the second I hit 504, I cut it and I applied, and I didn't stream for a week.
Yeah, I mean, if they're going all metric based, that's the way to do it, right?
It was all metric based. It was all metric based. It was all metric based. Like,
yeah, as opposed to now, there's actually someone like reviewing, like, oh yeah, he just got 500, or just got 75, but he's been averaging 30 for 3 years.
Yeah. So like
it's a different story.
NHL, especially, like a lot of the Ultimate Team games, they have this huge first week, but then they die so quickly, especially on NHL, because people come in and see, is it the same game? Yes. It's the same game. I don't want to play it anymore. But the first weeks, well, you've been around at Twitch. You know how launch week is, even for a small game.
Oh yeah.
You know how launch game is.
Well, and for PGA, the directory bumps.
Yeah, the directory was really, really good. Too bad the game was perceived too tough. The game was perceived too difficult. So here we are now.
It's one of the crazy things that with sports streamers, if you want to call it that, it's so dependent on that launch week, and you can almost tell within any sort of metrics when the game launches, because you did NHL for a good 2-year stretch, and then you switched over to FIFA. So like you said, growing up, it was football and hockey. Playing those games, does that kind of move the passion meter a little bit more?
A lot, because I'm a passer. I'm a playmaker. I love a good pass. Love a good pass. So especially in football, because hockey is different. Hockey, you just you just wiggle the stick, and because we call it the glue stick. There's glue in the stick. It's different. But especially in FIFA, it's my favorite thing to do. It's like my favorite thing to do to break the defense on a good through ball, because that's what I did. Like in sports myself. So yeah, it's very close to me. Like the fighting, especially on like a FIFA weekend league, I get into it so much. But of course, the flip of the coin is then there's frustrations, and when you actually are super into it, then it becomes frustrating too. But yeah, I would say it's a clear extension of me being in the pitch or me skating to play those games. Yeah, I compete. I love to compete. Yeah.
We need a caddy mode for you.
Yeah,
for PGA, so you can pass it off.
Yeah, but I did see now that we played the last FIFA. I don't want to fight as much as I wanted to fight 7 years ago. Like, I just don't want to fight. I just don't. I think streaming the golf game where I can put the controller down and have the 15-minute life story has changed me as a streamer. Even when I play Dead Space or Elden Ring, and then I look, oh, Bear said something 7 minutes ago, I feel terrible because I didn't see it. Like, I feel terrible. I know he's gonna come back. I know he knows that I was in a passionate fight against this and this. But still, the emotion is there. Like, oh, I missed it. But in golf, put the controller down, and it's different. So, for me, golf is the best game to stream just by the fact that you can always pause it. It's on pause by default.
Yeah.
So for me, it's
if you're not competing at that like highest level, which I mean, you are in golf anyways, but.
Yeah, but I'm really not. I'm right there in between, like the stay-at-home dad division and the guys who actually fight for the win. So I think I found my place very well in the leaderboard now.
But for like NHL or FIFA, right? Like you really have to be grinding for that like top tier to, just draw viewers purely based on a skill rather than the conversation. Because like you're saying, it's a bang game, like such a quick fast paced game like that, you can't be I mean you can, but the interactions back and forth with chat, there's really nothing like golf. Maybe baseball is another one that's adjacent, that's probably pretty good if you're into baseball, and I think that's why baseball in general does really well on Twitch, because you can right between pitches kind of go back and forth and between innings, like there's a lot of downtime, so to speak. So it's cool to see how that chat interaction has worked. And do you think that is, I guess we'll get into the start of golf, right? So you were, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe you were gifted a copy of PGA Tour 2K21. It was almost like a meme to,
it was 100% meme
to take over the directory rather than him, right?
Yeah, so I'm good friends with a big time FIFA guy called Bateson's 87, like an actual Hollywood level superstar. He's one of my idols in casting and content creation in a way where he will always take care of the little guy. He will send. I was averaging 15 viewers in Mortal Shell. He's always offering, hey, I'm 2K. Do you want these codes? And he sent me a code, or asks me a code, and I'm on playing Mortal Shell for 8 people, 1 day before it launches. And Tribe is there, of course, because Tribe is Tribe, right? So he's gonna be on my stream, and he runs his mouth like, make sure you're not on my directory tomorrow, because I say something about the code. You know what I mean? Oh, I'm going to try this. He's like, be sure you're not going to be in my directory tomorrow. And you guys know me already, that's going to be like, I'm 100% going to be, and I'm going to go early. I'm going to go 2 hours earlier. So so then I lay out all my hats. I lay out all my clothes. So my point is, I'm not going to even play the game. My point is making outfits for the first 3 hours. And we make outfits for the first 10 minutes, and I've never seen my chat like that. In 3-4 years since we stopped playing hockey, I haven't seen my chat like that. So I know already, okay, there's 20 names I haven't never seen in the first 10 minutes. I'm like, okay, well, let's go play one round. I go to the first whatever it is in the career mode, and I'm instantly in love. I put it like right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, and then Respawn says, yeah, you do know that you're on pro, that this is not even, like, this is really easy. I'm like, okay, this is going to be my game. This is going to be my game. So then everything, it's like the best stream I've ever had. I log off and I look at my stream summary thinking 50, if we peaked at 50 and we peaked at like 270 with 150 average. And I'm like, okay, this is clear. the message is clear.
Yeah. And you had any exposure to even the game of golf prior to this?
I'm a Tiger Woods Tiger Woods 02, 03 guy, and as a sports guy, it was one thing that we always watched, like U.S. Opens, because it was like at 2 a.m. in the morning. So we would come from a restaurant, and like yes, we watched golf a lot, and we played a lot of the Tiger Woods like 01, 02, 03. So yeah, I knew golf both in gaming, but I knew Zane and I knew Tribe and I knew like that the existence of it. I knew about TGC, but I had like no idea that it could be that fun.
You didn't know how deep this really ran.
Because it has to be said, it's even I wonder how can I play the game. Like even I wonder on a Thursday after we practice for 32 hours, I go, hey, let's do one more.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a problem, but it's a problem that's going to the right place, because I can play that game, the same track, same conditions, take the same shot over and over again. I don't get bored because it challenged me every single time. Every single swing challenges me. So
part of accepting the challenge, you turned me into someone who enjoyed Elden Ring streams and Dark Souls. Like watching you play that at that level, and again, we're probably going to constantly bring up the passion you bring, but being able to watch those and you just dive into those fights, how excited do you get looking at those challenges?
Well, that's again, like it's a little bit of a gratified thing for me. The bigger thing is getting there, because if there's no map, if there's no waypoint, if there's no hey ass hat go there, I'm instantly interested, because then I get the gratification of finding it. But yeah, I have like this weird, some sort of a backstory in my head. I don't even talk about it on cast, but I am the guy. Like I am the guy, and I usually always like, I don't use the easy mechanics either. So like I don't even want the fight to be easy. I don't even want the fight to be, I just want to get there and be like, hey, what would Himo do? You know, like in a weird way, I'm like, what would this character do? So yeah, I yell, I get on my knees, I cry. Like that's pure. That's absolutely pure. That's absolutely pure, because them games are actually tough.
So do you picture yourself in the game because you're just fighting giants the entire time, or?
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
I got one in. That's good. We could cut it, but I'm happy. We're good.
SJ. That's a little caveat. We counted the other day on my cast that I've faced around 8,000 short chokes in my career.
Yeah.
I mean, you take it in stride, and I think it's good to. It's a little bit of back and forth. Again, when new people come in, they got to learn the ropes. But
absolutely, and it's like it's a back and forth that I take very, very, very happily, because I don't get bullied ever. Like really, like there's no negativity, because we don't allow any negativity in the channel towards anybody. So I'll take a short joke. How could it be bad that the guys there bantering with me?
They're chatting.
Yeah, they're chatting and they're bantering and they're interacting and they are part of it. So yeah, it's a big locker room for me. It's a big locker room for me, and it's so cool always to see like these lurkers that lurk for 3 months, they don't say anything, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, you're short and fat. And then they just lurk for another 3 months. But he's there. They're always there. They're always there. So it's actually amazing how big of the lurker is. On my channel especially, like it's crazy. It's crazy to see how many people watch Twitch fully full screen, never chatted.
Yeah,
on my channel it's like 8% of people who actively go have chatted. 8%.
Yeah, it's a wild metric, because you couldn't be more correct. And I remember you saying one time, like I feel like it was maybe a year ago at this point, like, this person has never even shared their sub, and this is the first chat that they've had.
Yeah, like 64
for 4 years.
Yeah, 64-month sub, and the sub message is the first message in the channel. Yeah. Never typed, never shared a resub. 64-month resub is the first interaction in the channel.
Kind of like when you get the post plat rounds, and you have the success and the text message from your dad and says,
Good
"Good."
game. Yeah, good. Well played. Well played.
Okay then.
Or the classic, I shoot really well, but there's one bogey, and he's like, good, bogey bad. I'm like, thanks. So I just actually sent him last Sunday. We always send him a picture of my scorecard.
Mhm.
So these scorecards, we play a real life golf as well. So I send him like I shoot a personal record. I send him, but I still have 2 8s in the card. So he doesn't comment it's good. He just said need to get these 8s out.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong, but like you know what I mean. Like, that's it's all to the perspective. Where do you
it's
where
the
do you look?
constant, struggle for approval, right? But at the same time, it like makes that's probably what drives you too. Like at the same time, for the success, like it's probably part of your upbringing. It's like you got to do better, and you want to do better, and when you finally succeed, it makes it that much better.
Absolutely, and those kinds of short pitch and putt par threes are good for me because my back injury doesn't play at all because I can still hit 100-yard shots. So it's like it's perfect for me. It's probably even more fun for me than a normal course because I can hit my pitching wedge as far as I can hit my driver. So me on a par 5 is not not that good. So, but yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. What I don't understand is you're so good in the range. I hit that 8-iron so flush all day. I take the 50-meter walk to the first tee and crank it straight OB, right? Like
they don't lie when they said the game is 90% mental. It's all between your ears. It really is because
it really is, yeah. And like, why do I get nervous on the tee box? Like, there's no but. Like, why do I get nervous? Like, I'm like shaky hands in the first tee box. Why? Like, why?
Yeah. And it seriously, I think it translates to this game and these games well too, because the amount of times and frustration you see people complaining like that was not a very very fast or whatever, or red fast, or I'd say 5-10% of the time maybe there was like some sort of buffering or a frame drop. 90% of the time it's you and your nerves. Like
that's what I always say. Yeah.
And that's where it really becomes awesome. Like you see the people for the first time go into their TGC rounds, maybe a newer streamer, and then they just absolutely shit the bed, right? And it's it happens, right? Everyone kind of goes through those rounds. But that's golf, and that's what makes it so rewarding when you finally play well, when you have that perfect 18 under round.
Exactly, yeah. And I still enjoy the nerves though. Like very, very few things get me that much. Like I feel like a full on adrenaline dopamine. It's full on. But I learned like on the last game that I just can't get angry anymore. Like I just can't. So we worked really, really hard to get that mindset of like I just really, really, really tried to not talk about the last shot. That's like my only thing in my head. You're still angry about the bogey 7 shots ago, but if you now say, if I just didn't bogey on the 4th, how are you concentrating on the tee shot on the 12th? You're not. You're still thinking about it. And especially this year's game, you're gonna bogey. You're just gonna bogey. You're just gonna bogey.
Especially on that track last week. My God.
That was tough.
Oh man. So one of the things that you were doing throughout 21, and it was a 2-year life cycle. So it's an interesting one because you probably, I don't think based on NHL and FIFA, you've never really gone through a 2-game life cycle playing the exact same game. But one of the goals was to get to the so-called streamer island, right? And when did that kind of become something of a passion? Was that always something where it was I want to move away from Finland to somewhere warmer climate? Is that mainly the whole point?
So it's a really, really old meme from my first ever Christmas stream. We asked for 170,000 euros donation goal, and it said move to streamer island. So it started out as a meme, but once COVID hit, I knew when I had packed up the apartment that I'm gonna try to go. So yeah, it's always been a lifelong dream of mine. Not like possibly streaming wise, but moving somewhere warm and this kind of a environment. Yes, I always knew I'm gonna do it. So it just transitions from a May to golf working well, and then we almost paying rent with golf, and then we paying rent with golf, and then we paying rent with golf and putting a few hundred a month into the war chest. And then I was like, okay, now or never. Now or never. So, because I knew I can always go back, or I can get a job, or because I'm highly hireable. They would like to hire me. So I can always get a job if I need to. But I had high hopes that the next golf game is gonna bang and we're gonna survive the first year. So we survived the first year and no slowing down now. So no need to do nothing else but keep going.
And we can kind of start to look at the future. It's always one of the things I like to close my lines with is we've started the YouTube. The YouTube is starting to pop off. Again, this is a YouTube thing, so I have to say like and subscribe. And comment, watch the video all the way through. These are just standard terms and agreements of putting something on the channel.
Absolutely.
Do you enjoy being able to create the YouTube and go back and forth with the editing process of highlight this shot? No?
No, I hate being famous. I hate being on Instagram. I hate seeing, no, I always want to be the guy who just streams silently. But I am starting to learn that I'm hitting ceilings. I'm hitting ceilings if I'm just that guy that started 2016. If I still stream like 2016, it's not gonna work. So, no, I don't enjoy it at all. I love doing the streaming, but the Instagrams and the TikToks and the Twitters and the engagements and I'm very shy. I'm very like confused about it. So that's why I've outsourced the YouTube pretty much completely. I've told V that don't call me. put it there, don't call me. Like straight up. He's doing thumbnails, he's doing pretty much everything. It's a big financial investment, but it frees me from burning out in the game, because I know myself, I can't do 7-8 hours a day and then edit 4 or 5 hours a day and then watch 2-3 hours a day. I just don't have it in me. And I also don't have the skill set. I can zoom to my face and do a transition, but like what V is doing now, I couldn't do. So short answer, I hate transitioning into a influencer from just a Twitch streamer, but we're gonna do it slowly and on my terms. So I have accepted that it needs to be done.
It's like an Elden Ring challenge, you know. You're gonna try and try and try, and then at the end, we're gonna be nipple lasering and just
exactly. And there are a few things like having to watch myself. I've tried to cut a few mannerisms out, a few I say really too much. So I'm just like every time I say really for the first time, and I've listened to myself. So we've done a little more gain on the audio and stuff. So like it's also helped me to look at myself for sure. But as to it's cringe, dude. It's cringe. Because I can sell, you know what I mean? Hey, go watch, go. But like having to like watch myself, it's really, really tough. It's really tough.
It is a very interesting dynamic, because you do have that instant feedback, the constant back and forth on Twitch, the live interactions, as opposed to posting on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, any of these other platforms, right? So it's tough to see what transitions well, and you know, having the editor, you know, working with V as far as, you know, posting it, having those clips and everything, I think it is, you know, done you, or you know, really transitioned well for you. You know, is there, and I think, you know, the end goal is to just kind of get another passive revenue stream, right? So it's, I don't know, do you have any other?
It's more like drive traffic first. Like it's a clear funnel to Twitch. It's a clear funnel to Twitch for me. But of course, down the road, getting partnered and getting revenue for that. But that's not like a 2023 thing. So like I budgeted the 2023 straight into marketing. So I don't expect to get any return on invest on the YouTube side, other than hopefully getting subs and getting offline follows. But now I'm averaging 7-8 offline follows a day.
Yeah, so it's all so basically that was the whole purpose, is that offline traffic, finding those, the apex hounds of the world have nearly 200,000 subscribers on YouTube, right? But they never touch Twitch, so it's, you start to trickle in a few of those viewers and they're like, oh, what is this Twitch platform? Then they click on you. It's the same as how Locks dominates Facebook, right? There's
Exactly.
different, and these people don't even realize that Twitch is a website. So it's it's a very smart move to ultimately drive your main platform, which is Twitch, and it always seems like that's the intention, right?
Exactly. And in my case, like the Twitch community is so great, I don't really need to be even on. Once they read the chat for a minute or two, it's the funniest chat in the world. Like, it's packed with people who've seen life, intelligent, funny, nasty people, and a lot of people want to be in the chat. Of course, it's scary seeing 70-month nothing but big time sub badges but yeah, for me, not really a revenue stream at this point. Fully fully just to drive traffic to Twitch, fully to drive traffic to the community, and going from there. So, of course, down the line, yeah, but not a 2023 thing. Yes, first year is fully marketing in my own brain, and like all the paperwork, everything is marketing for the first year on YouTube. But of course, all you need is two good things, and it's going. So we're learning much. I'm learning much.
Yeah,
so I'm asking a lot of
it
questions.
Could be, you get a small revenue trickle through on YouTube when if you reach that partner goal, right? And then on top of it, you're gaining viewers on Twitch. So it's it's all compounding to increase your main channel. So I think it's a very wise move.
Absolutely. And it's also like growing the community is gonna always grow as also like, hey, we have this thing that people play virtual golf and talk to each other in the internet. That's like a big thing.
Before we touch on EA, I did have one other question about past streams, and one of my favorite streams that you were always doing was the IRL streams. The wilderness, going into the city, your travels, like live on the bus, and it takes a lot of time and effort to get that correct. And as far as the whether it's a second battery, something overheating the signal. But you seem to have, you've recently purchased the gimbal, for stabilization. Are we going to see, do you have anticipation of more IRL streams around, you're in Malaga or right around Malaga, right?
Yeah. Yo, absolutely. So we purchased the car now. So car is getting delivered tomorrow. So yes, short answer is very much so. Yes, very much so.
Excellent.
Yes. So a lot of golf content, a lot of driving, going to different places. So exactly as we did the wilderness stuff in Finland, similar stuff here, and there's a lot of cool places down to Algeciras, which is almost a Morocco. It's like 100 kilometers or 100 miles where I am, and it's Africa. So there's a lot of places here.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but yeah, disc golf, all kinds of stuff. So absolutely yes, big time yes.
Love to hear it.
But also my favorite streams too. So crazy cool to do. But yeah, a lot of golf. I think a lot of golf to start. I think. Like
that's going to be cool. And just even the pitch and putt. I think that's a good duration too. Some of the longer ones. Where you're constantly aiming at the hole on a pitch and putt. Every shot is exactly towards the green. You really have I think that's a good balance as far as like a drive is so difficult to see. Like, as much as I've enjoyed like a progressive golf stream,
but you can't really see anything.
You can't see anything, right? So it's you have a guy near you, and then they can zoom in on the green potentially, and see how close your shot is.
Yeah. Absolutely.
What I said we'll touch on next is EA. So I think we're all three of us very excited for EA. We had plenty of good news, some news about this lower frame rate, slightly dampening the excitement a little bit. We'll TBD on to see how much that actually plays in as far as an enjoyment standpoint. But all the different things that EA seems to be bringing to the table and coming out of nowhere after 8 years and competing head to head versus 2K, you have to think this is good for both EA's directory as well as 2K, the golf in general. So, I mean, obviously you'll be getting EA. Is there anything in particular that you're most excited about?
Well, big picture, I'm excited for the competition, pushing innovation and challenging each other, and of course, getting something new. Because 2K23, yeah, new, but not new, right? Yeah. So getting something new, getting something that it's completely a new IP with all of that, I am firstly super excited about. Second of all, the depth that we saw from the trailers, the depth is good. Like they have definitely tried. I love the idea of the depth of the game. So I think for us nerds, I've said this over and over again. Us golf nerds, I think it's come down to two things. Is it going to be too easy? Like too easy that there's no, even in the higher standards that we play, that there's no challenge in hitting up -20. And then on top of that, how are the game modes going to be? Is there going to be always something that when you sit on your computer, hey, I'm going to log off to EA? So I am very, very excited with a big boy asterisk that we cannot now hang our dying hopes in EA coming out with a day one product that servers work and everything works and there's going to be game, like just just a little bit of patience and like the expectations down a little bit, but I feel like there's way more opportunity here than threats. Because if it sucks, then maybe it gives us 5 hours a week, 10 hours a week. Let's say I get 10 hours of stream time a week. I'll take it. If there's fun to be played for 10 hours. I also think with the systems they have in place that if you could play like the same tournament at the same time as they are IRL playing it with like a live ghost to see Tony Finau hit it on the 16th on waste management, and then you get to take the same shot. Possibilities are endless. So I think we're gonna see a polar opposite 2 games. One game is gonna be no content and just the best mechanical game there is, which is 2K, and then EA is gonna be somewhere a little bit easier but a lot of content. So EA wants us to log into the game.
Thursday EAs.
Yeah, whereas I feel like 2K don't really want, like, they don't really care if you log into the game. But EA is going to want us to log into the game. So I think 2K's problem was the fact that they couldn't monetize anything. I don't think they sold any VC.
Yeah.
No. I don't think they sold any VC. Ever.
I think Jimmy's the only guy who bought some, or
and of course,
accidentally, right?
Carpy.
Of course, somebody
Allegedly.
accidentally purchased it. But like...
Yeah.
I think they made a mistake there, but I still say ranked can be nice. I still say the game is fantastic. It's mechanically plays well, but they have fallen behind in content for sure.
And at the very least, it's sparking innovation from both, right? So I think it's just we're going into the best possible time for a golf video game because there's 2 major developers competing against each other. So what are they going to do? They're going to, unload everything they have. So
exactly, and you can already see that the Twitters are going at each other a little bit. So that like makes me excited for that. There are hopefully the producers want to do it as well.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, really excited that with the big boy asterisk that it's an EA game. I know that's like a horrible thing to say, but a big asterisk, it's an EA game, and we've all been hurt by that game before.
No,
so
you don't have any
you've been
partnership
through
with
4
them
launches.
Right?
I am a part of the creator program, but I'm what they call a godfather in. So I am in 0 deliverables. My contract is 0 deliverables. So I am.
They deliver to you?
They deliver to me. So how it works is they offer me, do you want to? And then I can say yes. And then there's gonna be then you're gonna need to deliver this, and this. But as we go, like I am no. My contract is fully null and void and based on opportunities. So let's say we play Dead Space now. They want me to show the watermark and say once created by EA Sports Creator Network. Thank you. So that's pretty much my.
Yeah.
But I am in the program. So, and I've never hit it anywhere. So I am in the program still. Yes.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, we wish you nothing but the success for you and your channels. Make sure you go follow Himo both on YouTube and Twitch, and actually while you're at it, TikTok as well. You know, we're trying to hit on all the platforms, but mainly go find him on Twitch Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern till about 2 p.m. until he is told to get off by one of his moderators most of the time. But you'll find him playing tons of golf in that time frame, occasionally some other RPGs, and by no means you are going to find a lack of passion. It is the Passionate Golf Show with Mr. Himo Chico. Thank you very much for coming on Game Chat.
Thank you very much for having me, and make sure to subscribe, like, and comment on this channel as well.
See.